what you do now and your role, and maybe a little bit about how you got there.
My role as a preschool educator is to help the children reach their goal. I've been in early childhood education for 26 years, and I love what I do. It's my passion. I became Metro United Way's first master teacher in 2010. Yes. And I am still here. Thank you, Miss Ashley. Novak, yes. And my mentors. I have grown as a profession with the mentors from Four Cs. I went on a lot of study trips that have helped me grow as a profession. And I love working with children. If you're familiar with Pete the Cat, I just keep walking along and singing my song because it's all good. I give them the love, the nurture, and the caring, and I love working with my families. It's a blessing. It really is. My day started out, everybody know I sang. So I sang a transitional song. I sang good morning songs. Now my parents is saying, Miss Shantae, can you teach me that song? I'm trying to learn that for my kids at home. I said, I will text you all the words. But yes, I love what I do. I do. It helps me with my grandchildren. I was a young parent, so it really helped me when I started in early childhood education in 1997. So it's just okay. I work at Keystone Learning Academy with the 3 and 4 and 5-year-olds. I'm right now currently at SLA until our center open back up. Yes.
Thank you, Shantae.
You're welcome.
And next we have Denise. Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Well, I am Denise, and I work at Friends School. I've been there for this my 21st year. I love my kids, but I'm going to sit here and say it's hard some days. It is very hard. I was a single mom. Thanks to 4C, I actually went through and got my CDA. Then I was encouraged to go back to college, and I got my bachelor's in early childhood. I am the lead teacher in our junior kindergarten program. And then in the afternoons, we mix, and I get some 3-year-olds too. But I challenge even my 3-year-olds, because I know they can do it. And I definitely love working with each and every one of them.
Thank you so much. Ms. Tamara.
Hi, guys. I am the assistant director here at Neighborhood Housing, the CDC. I've been in child care for 27 years. I'm the youngest of 8, so I have a lot of nieces and nephews, so I watch them, and that's what made me want to become a child care provider. I love kids, all ages. I wouldn't change anything about what I do. I look forward to coming to work every single day. And like she said, it does get hard, but I wouldn't change a thing. Nothing.
Thank you.
Hello. My name is Bridget Yates. Currently I'm the executive director at Cornerstone Child Development Center in St. Matthews, but my career actually started here. So I was a student in the preschool program. I think it was probably 1979, if my math is correct. And then I returned sometime around 2001 and taught in the preschool program when it was in the old building, and then became the director to oversee the new building and the new child development center being built. So I worked here for several years before going to Cornerstone. I got into this field because I wanted to work in Portland because I'm from this neighborhood and I really needed childcare. And so I had 2 little children and wanted to have them with me in childcare. So I just sort of kind of gumped into this field. It wasn't what I thought that I was going to do for the rest of my life. But once I got in the field, I never left and never will. So I'm incredibly passionate about it now. And I work a lot with Corey. Corey and I have known each other since I worked here before she even had children. And she's just been a mentor to me and helping me through kind of this journey for the last 20-something years.
Thank you, Bridget. I mean, these ladies, how amazing. We've got like over 100 years, I think, of childcare service sitting up here on this panel, which is amazing. And it really is such a testament to the kind of folks that are in this field and the kind of folks that we need in this field, and we're so grateful for. For people that don't have the great opportunity to work in a child development center every day, and lets me preface this question by saying there is no such thing as typical in the child care day, but maybe we can say a little bit about, from your perspective, what is sort of a normal kind of a day. And how do we flip it and go from Bridget this time?
There is no normal day. So it can really be anything. There's a fair amount of putting out fires every day. We have 150 children in our building. So someone could be getting hurt or having the best moment of their life and the happiest moment of their life at any time throughout the day. So the days are really incredibly unpredictable, but also incredibly rewarding. We get to see a lot of first steps and a lot of first words. Teachers are the relationship that they have with their children is one of the most beautiful things that I get to witness every day, of the excitement of a child getting to see their teacher in the morning and the teacher's joy in celebrating with those children when they have those important milestones and when they have the unimportant ones, like opening their own milk for the first time. It's just, we get to be witness to such important and meaningful things all day, every day. Administratively, though, there's still a lot going on. It's, managing 150 kids and 35 teachers every day is, it's consuming. It really is. Particularly in a workforce that we are constantly working to maintain. The focus is so much on retaining good teachers when we feel like we're fighting off the rest of the world constantly to keep our really great teachers. So
A typical day is busy, but fun. I would tell any educator, just go with the flow, because that's what I've always done. I let my kids lead the way. I follow their lead. If they're having a bad day, I let them know it's okay to have a bad day. We all have bad days. Yeah, so I just go with the flow of the day. That's how I start my day out.
For me, a typical day is going in, like she was saying, sing them songs, down on the floor, back up off the floor, back down on the floor, running around the playground, doing tag, things that you don't think as, I'm 52 years old, that I would have still been doing at 52 years old. Like she was saying, putting out the fires here and there. And I've got, the schedule, and we try to stick to our schedule, but there's days where we just need to keep playing a little bit longer or stay out there on that playground and get that fresh air and run and teach the kids how to say, no, I was playing with that first, and or saying, can you put a timer on so that I can have a turn next? So it's all that, and teaching them that it is okay to have the bad days. It's okay to have the good days. It's okay to be you, whoever you are, how you feel inside.
A typical day. Well, first I pray first, because I just don't know. And I look at the kids' moods when they come in with their mom, so I already know what their day is going to be. And I still sing my song while they sitting there I could still be singing and they still mad, and it's going to be okay. It is going to be okay. And it's okay to have bad days. They can have bad days. Let's go in the cozy center. Let's read a book. What can I do to make you feel better? I give them hugs. I smile. And I follow the children's lead. Since we are a radio and Aspire classroom, my class is more calmer. So I very seldom really have children coming in running wild or doing anything, because it's more calmer and this is their classroom. So I let them lead their classroom. I let them help me set up invitations, set up the environment in the classroom, and it makes it more respectful that, so they can do, this is their classroom. We build a community. And if a child come in not wanting to be at school that day, by the end of the day, he don't want to leave because of what I have set up for them to engage and learn.
That's amazing. And you all just cultivate that joy in your programs. And it's so important those early years when children's development is going so quickly. You all are the folks that are helping kids learn to navigate those emotions, figure out how to use those words, nurturing the things that they're most curious about so that they find joy in learning and they want to come to school. So thank you for doing that. Childcare is the workforce behind the workforce, and they do these things that help prepare our children, but they also do this work so that our professionals can go out to work and be a part of the community. And so this day is about thanking you all, and we're just so grateful for everything that you do. Please do.
I just wanted to say too that the way I teach those kids, I am trying to show them responsibility. Sometimes the parents will bring in the kid's backpack, them holding the backpack instead of the kid, and I'm like, Mom, let's let him or her do it, because it shows them that responsibility that I can do this and I am a part of this whole part of life. Yeah. And to help them become better human beings going out into the world.
The citizens.
And we need all of the wonderful people going out into the world to be good citizens.
Yes, we do.
So knowing how important you all are to this community, to the families that you serve, to the businesses that have employees that can show up and, everybody can function that day. What do you need to be successful in your job?
More money.
Everybody here, that's more money.
We need more money because we do not get the respect that I know she was saying we love I can't take love to LG&E.
Right? What you just said.
So we need more money in the early child education, and we need to get that respect that we need. Yes.
Well, okay, so that's 100% true. Jenny Jean already talked to us about how child care workers are among the lowest paid. It's one of the lowest paid professions in the entire country. And it does make it a challenge to retain our workforce because even with a committed heart and a love for this work, when you have your own family to take care of and you have to figure out how you're going to pay the next bill, so many times and so many wonderful providers have had to make the choice to leave the field to do something else. And so a big part of why we're here today, not just to appreciate, but in addition to appreciating, is to highlight how important this is and bring the message of how critical this is and how close we are to a big cliff where we are going to need more support or we're going to lose more providers and more programs. Bridget, what do you think that you all need to be more successful?
Besides the answer that was already given, I think a little more respect. It's really difficult in this field to be told so often what you do is vital, what you do is crucial to this community, what you do is changing the world. But you're not really teachers, you're child care workers. And it's just daycare, right? And so we have a real image problem in this field. And there's just not a tremendous amount of respect and support for people who work in this field, unfortunately. We're viewed as very different than kindergarten or first grade teachers if you are teaching a 4-year-old or a 5-year-old, as if it's something magical happens when they turn 5 and now you're a real teacher. It's difficult to defend. We feel like we're really defending and trying to do like a good PR campaign for our staff and for our center constantly to get the respect that we deserve. And again, we're often told how grateful everyone is for us, or how much of an impact we make and how important we are. But when it comes time for action, there's a real lack of it to support us. So.
I would say respect also, because a lot of parents think we're just a babysitting. You know, we're not. We're not babysitters. We're educators, and like, just respect us as being educators. Like, we don't just babysit. We have the kids at least 8 hours a day, and to me, like, I'm not their mom, but I am. Their childcare mom. So just respect. It goes a long way.
And we set the foundation before these children go into school. So we do need the respect, because we do set the foundation for these children. No, we're not babysitters. We educators. We don't sit on babies. We set the learning environment for them. Yes.
Want to add anything, Denise?
They covered it.
They really did do a
That's
good
what
job
it is.
covering it.
I mean, when it comes to, I guess I look at doctors and lawyers and all these higher positions in this world, and I look at them and I'm like, because they'll talk to me or to other teachers as we are just these babysitters and stuff, but how did they get to that position themselves? It had to be through a teacher.
It's really, really important, especially in those early years, that there's both that care and education, that consistent caregiver, that person where you can feel safe. And it's a really important component of what we do for young children. It's not just soft skills. So, does anybody want to offer any other comments about what you think the community should know about educators, or what it is that keeps you coming back to the classroom every day?
I would like to say one thing. I don't remember the lady's name who started off and was talking about the money that it was going to die down. If it wasn't for that money where I work, we wouldn't have insurance. I've worked there for 21 years, and for the last 2 years is the only time we've ever had insurance. And we are finally at this point where my boss is able to pay us. There's not one person under $15 at our place right now, but that might have to change if we don't have the support and stuff that we need. So that, it's scary when you think of that. And I was a single mom for, my whole, up till now. My kids are grown, so I'm still a single mom in a sense, but I don't have to, they don't rely on me that way anymore. But it's scary for those other people out there who need that.
I mean, maybe do you want to say something about what the financial implications of your future look like?
Yeah, I saw you making eye contact. I thought that. I think the entire industry is approaching a complete panic. And we've been very fortunate at Cornerstone to be able to save a lot of money so that we can continue to make, to continue to pay the wages that we're paying, and for a little bit longer than some other centers. But ultimately, it's going to crumble next year. And that is not an exaggeration. I don't know how particularly smaller centers that have received this funding, that have increased pay, that have now offered benefits, that have offered, discounts for their teachers, that those kinds of things, far better professional development, all of these things that have been able to be offered to the staff because of the ARPA funding. When that is gone, we're looking at, in order to keep your business open, you will eliminate those benefits, reduce salaries, and we're going to see a mass exodus from this field, larger than we've ever seen, and it is going to crumble. We have looked at how much we would have to increase our tuition to be able to keep things kind of the way that they are now, And if we do, we just create another issue, which is now we've priced ourselves beyond what our families can afford. So then we have families that would have to leave our center and take it. Just we're in panic. So
Absolutely. Thank you guys for being with us today. Thank you for what you do every day. We appreciate you today and every day. And thank you also for helping to highlight how important it is for all of us to be advocates for early childhood education. And I just really appreciate you all being here. So now that we're done with the panel, I'm going to turn things over.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm going to turn things over to my friend Liz McQuillan, who is the GLI Director of Government Affairs and Public Policy.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks, Corey. Thank you all for letting me be here today and talk a little bit about why childcare is such an important policy issue for the business community. But first, I want to say that I am a mother of 3 who are all currently in childcare. I have one in pre-K, one in preschool, and one in infant care. So I am exceedingly grateful for the dedicated providers like we heard today and that my family has been lucky enough to have for my kids. Especially with those infants, it is so hard to drop off your 3-month-old or younger, 6-month-old to somebody. And so it is just so reassuring to know that they are being loved and they're being comforted and they are being taught, valuable social and emotional skills by these providers every day. So very grateful for what they do on a personal level. But also as a GLI representative, we know that childcare providers are essential for our community and for our economy, and that for our regional economy to continue to grow, we need everybody who wants to participate in the workforce to be able to do so. One of the most acute barriers to work for parents, and most often women, is access to affordable childcare. And so we know, as has been said, we lost a lot of capacity of childcare capacity during the pandemic. And we saw the huge impact that had on workforce participation. So it's clear that there is a direct correlation between a thriving economy and access to affordable childcare. And so we have that evidence now. And like so many of the things we've heard today, we know that there's a lot more work to do to strengthen the childcare infrastructure for the needs that are coming up over the next year. GLI is honored to work with a lot of the partners in the room today to do that, including obviously provider support, raising wages. And as has been said by the panel and our first speaker, we know that these childcare providers often see this as a calling or a service to the community, and we're so grateful for that. But we can't rely on them seeing it as a calling. We have to provide more support for them to be able to do what they want to do, so that other parents, can participate in the workforce as well. So I'm just really excited to be here today, excited to continue this conversation and work with everybody here. And now I'm going to turn it over to Adria Johnson, the President and CEO of Metro United Way. Thank you.
Hi. Thank you, Liz. Good morning. I would like to just take a moment because we have now been joined by Representative Beverly Chester Burton, Representative Josie Raymond, and Councilwoman Jennifer Chappell. So thank you all for taking time out and joining us this morning. So as many of you know, at Metro United Way, we fight to overcome disparities in education, economic mobility, and basic needs to achieve equity and opportunity for all. And we do that boldly and unapologetically. So I'm going to keep that energy around that bold and unapologetic frame that's in the space today by saying this: and truly appreciating our child care providers takes more than this one moment can give. It takes more than applauding the extraordinary educators who succeed for our children despite every barrier. It takes removing those barriers. It takes more than recognizing our child care providers as accomplished entrepreneurs and employers. It takes understanding that child care, as has been said this morning, is the workforce behind the entire workforce. It takes more than providing special lunches to child care educators this week. It takes ensuring that they can put food on the table every day because they themselves are making a living wage. It takes every single one of us in this room using our voice, our power, our influence to express appreciation, again, with what has already been said this morning, with action. I'm thankful to be standing in a room full of people who do just that. Our Ready for K Alliance partners, through their expertise and advocacy, and our elected leaders through their support of our youngest children, their families, and their teachers. Locally, we thank our mayor, who has demonstrated visionary leadership, declaring that his legacy priority is expanding access to high-quality early childhood education, as well as our Metro Council, who strategically invested American Rescue Plan resources in early learning initiatives to overcome our present challenges and to prepare us for a brighter future. But the progress must continue. As we stand here today, Louisville alone still needs more than 4,700 child care seats to meet the needs of our families. These seats sit behind locked doors because we don't have educators to open them. A fall survey of Kentucky child care providers showed that 23% of programs could serve more than 50 additional children each if they were fully staffed. But we can't recruit and retain these educators, as we've heard this morning, while the average wage of Louisville child care workers, including directors, is $12.98 an hour. That's $12.98 an hour for educating, not babysitting, as has also been said this morning, our children as 90% of their brain develops. I think Jenny Jean said it. It's not okay. It's not okay. It's just not okay. We must work with our local leaders and policymakers on local solutions, including developing a targeted compensation enhancement program and building mixed delivery pre-K opportunities for families across private childcare, public school, and Head Start settings. We have that local authority right here, right now. But it can't end with our community. When federal relief funds run out in the upcoming state budget cycle, as has already been said, more than 22% of Kentucky child care providers anticipate permanently closing. More than 71% of providers will be forced to raise tuition for parents, and nearly 40% of providers will have to cut already untenable staff wages. This would be a Kentucky catastrophe, and we need our Kentucky policymakers to help prevent it. We thank our state legislators for proactively taking steps to strengthen the child care sector, including establishing the trailblazing Employee Child Care Assistance Partnership, which incentivizes private employers to provide child care tuition benefits by offering a state match, and convening an early childhood education task force. But those steps alone cannot change the bleak forecast we face. So our ask to state policymakers is this: act on the recommendations of your thorough, solutions-focused Early Childhood Education Task Force. They've developed a blueprint for a stable early childhood sector, and it includes supporting the child care educators we honor today by providing pathways to education, wage improvements, and business coaching, maintaining pandemic-era improvements to the Child Care Assistance Program, which helps low-income, working families afford child care, continuing the innovative Employee Child Care Assistance Partnership and Family Child Care Home Startup support, and building bridges for public-private partnerships in pre-K settings. While these investments are vital to child care, please make no mistake about it. We all suffer, and we will all suffer without them. We will leave child providers without educators, children without care, parents without options, and employers without a workforce. Overcoming these challenges in a truly transformational way will, of course, also require support of our congressional leaders. And to tell you more about that, I'm extremely proud to share with you a message from our community's own Congressman Morgan McGarvey, who is a dedicated champion for early childhood education and has already made that clear to his colleagues in D.C.
Hi, I'm Congressman Morgan McCarthy. Two things. First, so sorry I can't be able to do all in person today at the neighborhood house, but I am doing everything to celebrate the work of child care providers and educators today. Second, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Our educators, our child care providers, do so much for our community every single day. My youngest daughter, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Congressman McGarvey, and thanks again to Terrence Sullivan for joining us today from his team. So, partners, policymakers, neighbors, and friends, let us make this day the day that we turn appreciation into action. I am honored and grateful to now welcome Deputy Mayor of Louisville, Barbara Sexton-Smith, for a declaration to guide us in this intention.
Morning, y'all. I'm just saying, in morning prayer, I gave myself permission to share what's on my heart, in my soul, and on my mind. And y'all are the first audience that I encountered today. I'm not exactly sure where this might go, but I know where it's been and I know where I'm headed. And yes, I am going to bring a declaration from Mayor Craig Greenberg. I'm here with you today, joined by several of my colleagues, which I would like for them to stand. The Director of the Office for Women, Gretchen Hunt, please stand. The Mayor's Office for Early Childhood Learning, Leanne French, Director, please stand. And the newly appointed by Mayor Craig Greenberg, Executive Director of the Mayor's Office of Philanthropy, Mariana Barzin. Thank you for letting me come for a few moments this morning and bring greetings and bring a proclamation and make a declaration on behalf of Mayor Craig Greenberg, my colleagues, and more than 5,000 employees that work for Louisville Metro government, y'all. They work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week when you put all their shifts together. These are the folks that are serving every inch of Jefferson County. Our goal is to create economic development with more and better jobs in all of our neighborhoods, more and better services in all of our neighborhoods, and to create a safer and a stronger and a healthier community for everyone. As I listened this morning, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, Adria, a Kentucky catastrophe requires a calling campaign. Would y'all like to know what a calling campaign is? I made this up whilst I was seated. Terrence, this is how I roll. But I'm serious about this. It was mentioned earlier by one of the speakers that this is a calling for many people. So I shall posit to each and every one of you today. When you woke up this morning before your 2 feet hit the floor, did you think you were going to a job? Did you think you were going to your career? Or did you think you were going to pursue your calling? If I don't say anything else this morning, I want everybody in the next 21 hours before you wake up tomorrow, make yourself wake up tomorrow and before those 2 feet hit the floor, say, I'm going to pursue a calling, because that's where the magic in life is. That's where it happens. Your avocation and your vocation get aligned and they're all in the same vehicle. You get up every day loving what you're doing because you realize it's a calling that was blessed upon you for you to then go, and everything you do all day helps you make this world a little better. Now, we have a challenge and a calling for our child care providers. I've also decided this morning my first declaration is this: access to affordable, quality child care, early childhood learning is a basic human right. Can I just say that? And when I was driving here, I got to thinking about, I could not stand here with you today as your deputy mayor had I not had you, or you're the people that came before you, 40 years ago when my daughter was in child care and early childhood learning. That's right. My daughter today is an occupational therapist running the whole state of Michigan's record keeping from a dock in North Carolina. Mariana, I've never understood this virtual working, but somehow she's making that work. It was people who came before you that loved my daughter Bristol, loved her while I was working 12 and 14 hours a day as a fundraiser for the Metro United Way back in the day. Yes, I was. It was your predecessors that potty trained Bristol. It was I gotta keep it real. It was your predecessors that taught little Bristol how to pull her little chair out, sit down, get up to the table, and use the fork and the spoon when she was able to do so. Y'all did that. I'd like to think I was the greatest mother on the planet. I was a single mom out doing my thing, trying to make enough money to put food, clothing, and shelter wrapping around us, because we had just come off of unemployment. That's right. Unemployment back in the day when you got those little crazy coupon books. There's nobody in this room old enough to know what I'm talking about. Everybody here, or are you? Does anybody remember the little coupon? Thank you for admitting that with me. It was horrible. You had to go into the grocery store. You didn't have a fancy little EBT card that looks just like right, Adrian? You had to open up that coupon book, and everybody 3 aisles over and 5 people back knew, oh, there's that lady on food stamps up front, and they're going to take things off her cart because she doesn't have enough left. That was me. I'm just keeping it real. And then life went on, and y'all taught little Bristol how to read. You know, I'd like to tell you I taught her to read, and I read to her every night. Are you kidding? I was too tired by the time I got home. Seriously. And then you taught her, her numbers and her colors and her letters, and I reinforced it. So thank you to those that came before you. And thank you for being here today. Thanks is not enough. I promised you I'd tell you what a calling campaign is. Do y'all want to know what that is? Go with me. All right. In 2017, I began a 4-year term as an elected official, and I learned real quick as an elected official, Metro Councilwoman representing District 4, yes, I could proclaim things and declare things back then, but I was willing to get up and put my political future on the line every day because it wasn't about me. So everybody was talking about raising the minimum wage to something like $10.25 as though that was going to be a big deal in 2017. And so I said, no, that needs to be $15 an hour was my first proclamation. And it didn't take 18 more months. And I realized that's not a living wage anymore. It was $17. Y'all know what I think a living wage is today? No one in the United States of America should be paid less than $20 an hour with full benefits. And here's the truth. We can do that. We can do it in Jefferson County. We can do it in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. And we can do it in the United States of America. Congressman McGarvey's going to have the political will to say that's what we need to fund. We're going to have the political will and the courage to do that here in our community. So, Mayor Craig Greenberg, he's already stepped out. I've watched him do this twice in public, in very large audiences. He gets asked, what do you want your legacy to be? I don't know if any of you have seen him do this. And he gets tears in his eyes when he does it. And the first time, it sent chills through me, and everybody in the room at the GLI event had tears in their eyes. And he looked at a reporter and he said, I know exactly what I want my legacy as mayor of Louisville to be. And 20 years from now, when Jefferson County public school students are graduating from high school, I want that to be the highest academically achieving class in the history of our school system because we had accessible, affordable, quality early childhood learning for every student in Jefferson County. So the calling campaign is simply every chance you get. Maybe we should all have pins that say 20. And then people go, what's that 20 for? And then you all get on a sermon and a pulpit and give it to them, okay? Maybe we should. Former Congressman John Yarmouth was very proud of the F he received. Remember, he wore it on his lapel. I say we all ask for $20 an hour. I do not believe in stair-stepping that up. I say now, right now, today. So, what about today? Here is what I was asked to come do, not give that sermon and talk about my own experience. But I think it's important because I wouldn't be here if it weren't for the quality care that my child received. There's no doctor, no lawyer, no engineer, no teacher, no postal worker, no bank teller, no one in the grocery store, no one earning a paycheck anywhere can do what they do if you're worried sick about your children. If you're worried about your children, you can't love your job. And if you don't love your calling, you see, then your calling can't love you. Love what you do and it loves you back. All right, there you go. That's my secret to happiness in life. Be happy and love what you do. All right, here we go. I need to present, or I would like to present, a mayoral proclamation. So to whom shall I present this today? Is there any one person that would like to receive this in the room? If not, I'm going to present it to each and every one of you. How do y'all like the way I'm stalling while they figure out who's going to come up here? All right. All right. You just can't make this up. Right, can you? Do you think any of them saw, do you think any of the folks saw the interaction between you and me when you walked back here? And you're the one that comes up here. Okay. All right. So this is fabulous. She was on the panel and you shared, and thank you so much. And thank you for coming up here. When she walked past me, I just felt something. And I reached up and I thanked her and we hugged one another. I had no idea we were going to stand here together. This is so exciting. Okay. So today, Mayor Craig Greenberg on March 12th, which you can't make this up either. There are two young men that have been, what? May? You know, this is it May 12th? That's almost funny, Ashley. I have proof. This says March 12th. And so Something I tell my team that works with me, and the three women that I introduced, they will all attest to this. You all know what I say. I am seldom correct, but I am never in doubt about anything. Okay, well, God works in mysterious ways, because this proclamation does say March 12th, 2023. And when I sat down and flipped it over and looked at it, all I could think about was Cormac Parker and Tenery Mente Young. And they're two grown men. One is 40 and one is 30. They each came to me when they were little children because life was unfair. They didn't find me, I found them. They're my godsons. They now are two wildly successful young men who've made it, from one of them living at the Home of the Innocents for a very long time. He doesn't mind me telling you, he's 40 years old and he's the office manager at the Fund for the Arts. And he's been there 11 years. Go by and say, hi, Tenery Mente. March 12th was his 40th birthday. Cormac Parker Jr.'s father was in prison the whole time he was growing up, so he was brought to me as well to love and care for. He's 31. He lives in California. He's killing it in the recording business. His birthday is March 12th. But today is the day the Lord hath made, and it is May 12th. And Mayor Craig Greenberg, he hereby proclaims May 12th, 2023 to be National, here we go, Child Care Provider Appreciation Day in Louisville, Kentucky, to whom all these presents shall come greetings, and I urge all ye citizens to lift up, recognize, and honor May 12th, 2023, National Child Care Appreciation Day in Louisville, Kentucky. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. That was very inspiring.